Hi guys, it's me Jimmy Geek. So the question is that are coding bootcamp good to learn web development? I'm a self-taught web developer. So let me give you my opinion on the bootcamp. So now let me read the question. Hi Jimmy, just wanted to say thanks for making these awesome videos. Thanks guy, I love that. I appreciate from the bottom of my heart. It really make me happy. Love you man. You have inspired me and educated me in many aspects of which path I am going to take into becoming a web developer, okay? I'm a new subscriber and so I haven't gotten a chance yet to check out all your videos. What are your thoughts on the coding bootcamps? If you don't have a video on bootcamp, could you make a one? Indeed, I'm making a one for you. Or if you already have one, could you direct to me? No, I didn't make any video on the bootcamp before. I'm making it now for you, man. I think they are good idea. However, I'm not sure if it is worth the money. Like how much would I be making out of the bootcamp? I live in Denver, Colorado. Nice place. The one I found would cost me around 25,000 US dollar for 6 months. 6 months will be I think 82 weeks bootcamp, and that include the tuition, housing, food. Okay, then I can understand $25,000 is reasonable. They help you to find a job after you complete it, and then they will refund $19,000 tuition. I mean, if you get a job, they will refund. Now let me put the question in a much better way. So this is a guy called Zahid. He's in the USA. He's inspired by my web developer video, how to become a web developer or software engineer without going to college. So now he wanna become a web developer. So he's asking me the question: are the bootcamp good to learn web development? Number one thing, yes, bootcamp are really good to learn web development. Let me define you what bootcamp is. I have a 2-year military background in Hong Kong Air Cadet. So yeah, I was in Hong Kong Air Cadet. I remember the bootcamp which I went through. So I have my personal experience. A bootcamp stands for a military bootcamp. There is a drill sergeant who is shouting at you. I mean left, right. I mean you are in an insane environment, but you have to follow the instruction. You have to grind. For example, at midnight 3 p.m. a drill sergeant out in a military and a basic cadet training will wake you up, and they will throw cold water on your face in a cold winter night. That is called a boot camp. So I mean this programming, there is some programming businesses, or I don't know, this programming boot camp are not institute. They are not businesses. They are for profit make. It's hard to put them in a category. In easy word, I will say this programming boot camp come up with the idea, why not we apply the same concept of a military boot camp to teaching our programming boot camp. So basically it means a 3-week boot camp, a 6-week boot camp, or 41-week boot camp. No, not a 41 week. I'm sorry. 41 week boot camp. It stands for around 1 year, around 10 months. So basically a 3-month boot camp is 12 month. I'm sorry, I'm getting confused. 3-month boot camp equal 12-week boot camp. 24-week boot camp equals 6-month boot camp. This guy is talking about 6-month boot camp. So basically mean 24-week boot camp. So the idea is that the stuff which you will learn in 4 years or around 2 years, they are going to teach you are in 12 weeks or 24 weeks with the intense pressure on you. Yes, you can do it after. You grind through the boot camp after a basically after a military, I mean basic cadet, I mean went through a boot camp, and then he can become a soldier, officially soldier. He can become, if he failed in the boot camp, basically you have to went home and find out something else, rather go back to college. So I mean in a normal boot camp, the concept is same even in the coding boot camp. If you can grind, if you can pass through, if you do not quit the boot camp, the 6-month boot camp or 3-month boot camp, I will just say the 12-week boot camp or a 24-week boot camp, you will be a web developer. I guarantee you, I really guarantee you, I bet on it, you will be a web developer. But grinding is not easy, my friend. Grinding is really hard. And second thing, we are totally newbie. You need to teach us HTML, CSS, JavaScript, PHP. You need to have some basic understanding. I mean, you can just watch some video introduction to programming courses. You can take some online courses from lynda.com, and then from the team 3 out, it costs you $29 per month. I mean, you need to make some website before going to a boot camp. I mean, or you will a lot of people fail in boot camp because they are totally new. Some of them work in the finance, some of them are self-employed employer. I mean, suddenly their business go down and then they want a career change. They have no idea what programming is. They have no idea what variable is. I mean, I ask you a few questions. Do you know what variable is? What is the meaning of if-else statement? How to declare a variable? What the things you cannot do in declare a variable? Can you use a capitalize? I mean, can you use a capital letter for using the variable name or not? I mean, if you can answer this basic question, I mean, then it's okay. You just go to a bootcamp directly, pay that $25,000. I mean, no problem at all. But I mean, if you really don't know what the hell variable mean, I mean, what the hell if else switch statement mean, if you really do not know any basic function, I mean, do not go to a bootcamp. Just pick some kind of PHP book. I mean, PHP, MySQL, and Apache. You have to decide, are you going to become a front-end web developer? Are you going to become a back-end web developer? If you are going to become a back-end web developer, you need to learn some kind of server-side language. Most of the time, the bootcamp will teach you Ruby on Rails or sometimes Python, but it's very, I didn't really see someone teaching you PHP. The main problem is that there's more job for PHP compared to Ruby. So I may find a bootcamp that is teaching you PHP. Indeed, yes, you need. If you want to go to a bootcamp and then want to build your own web application, build your own startup, build something next Facebook, yeah, just learn Ruby. Ruby is easy to learn in the bootcamp. I mean, the most of the time the bootcamp use Ruby because it's one of the most easy language to learn compared to PHP. If you want to become the front end engineer who only design, I mean, who only do the color layer, who only work on the front end design, but even he need to know some kind of, how to say, some kind of back-end language like a database language, MySQL. So I mean, you just pick up these two books. I mean, I really like these two books. I mean, because JavaScript jQuery is a colorful book. It will help you for the visual. I mean, it's a really good book. I mean, and then pick up the HTML CSS book. I mean, it's really good. And then pick up some kind of mobile web design book. I mean, something like this. The mobile web design. You will become a front-end engineer. Please clear me. Are you wanna become a back-end engineer? Are you wanna become a front-end engineer? If you wanna become a front-end engineer, you have a very cheap option for you. You just go to New Zealand. The bootcamp will cost you around $4,000 for 3 months. I mean, how much is the living expense it will cost you for the housing, food? Let me tell you. For the 3 months, let me tell you the total. I'm calculating it. Let me calculate for you here. Basically, I mean, for a 3-month housing rent, I mean, and then the food you will be eating there for 3 months, it will cost you $2,500 plus, I mean, the boot camp. The boot camp will cost you around $4,300 plus $2,500. I mean, let me give a total. Total is $6,812 US for 3 months front end boot camp from UB. I mean, it's so cheap. I mean, just go to New Zealand if you really wanna learn the front end engineer. If you just wanna focus on a front end, if you wanna become a WordPress, WordPress template or a theme, I mean, designer or engineer, whatever the hell you wanna call. If you wanna just work on a back and learn PHP, But if you wanna learn everything, you wanna become a full stack web developer who also know HTML, CSS, JavaScript, I mean the web design is called. Even who know web development, which is PHP, Ruby, MySQL, Python, then I will say, I mean, try to find a bootcamp which teach you PHP. I mean, you can disagree with me. I will say, do not go to a Ruby bootcamp. Do not go to the Ruby bootcamp. Ruby really looks sexy. It's really freaking sexy. The problem is that when you learn Ruby, PHP learning is hard. Basically, Ruby is freaking easy to learn. I mean, PHP is harder to learn. You can just pick up a Ruby book, you can just learn. I mean, PHP is not easy to learn compared to Ruby. I mean, the most easy programming language to learn is Ruby, then Python, then PHP. PHP is hard to learn, but PHP have the most job, I mean, after JavaScript. I mean, after JavaScript or JSP language. I mean, in the world, the most job for a web developer is for the JSP, JavaScript page, and then a PHP. And if you just give a quick search for Ruby, I mean, how many jobs you find in your local city? 20, 10. You just do a quick search, I mean, in your city for PHP, 600, 1000 jobs for PHP. If you want a job guarantee, if you want someone to hire you, go with PHP. And then the second thing, a lot of systems are built in PHP. WordPress is built in PHP. Drupal is built in PHP. Magento, the online open cart, if you don't know Magento, I mean, for example, if you want to build the online business for your customer to sell something online, of course you will use some kind of solution. I mean, that is built in PHP. Joomla is built in PHP. A lot of stuff is built in PHP. If you learn PHP, you can play around it, you can manipulate that. I mean, just go with PHP. Then nothing, I mean, built in Ruby. Yeah, some sites are built in Ruby. I mean, like I think GitHub is built in Ruby. I forgot some in other names. I will say find a PHP bootcamp. But if you're totally newbie, you will say, Jimmy, okay, I want to learn front-end engineer, even I want to learn the back-end engineer, and then I want to become full-stack web developer. I want to become full-stack web developer. Then you need to focus on one language. Or you want to become a master in PHP or the JavaScript. You have to first decide that. If you're totally newbie, and then I will say F of the bootcamp, do not attend the bootcamp, go with the diploma in web development level 6, which equal to the third year, and which equal to the second year of USA degree. I mean, there's a diploma in New Zealand. Diploma in web development is it lasts around 8 months. It's a full official education. If you go to the bootcamp, I mean, it's not an institute. No one will recognize your education. You can put on your resume. But if you're totally newbie, if you wanna start to learn HTML, CSS, I will say go to New Zealand and then join the web development bootcamp. I mean, let's go to the screen and then let me show you how much it costs. I mean, go to the screen. Now let's go to Google and type UB. I mean, UB is a design school in New Zealand which will teach you web design, web development, animation. I mean, doing digital video. Just go to ub.ac.nz. I have included the link in the description box below. I mean, do not go to this one, what is called, let me show you. This is some kind of store. I mean, do not go to this website, do not go to ub.com, go to ub.ac.com. Now, let me, you want to become a web developer, right? Study web development, go to web development. First, I will show you the bootcamp and then I will show you a diploma. This is a diploma, I will come later. Let me show you the bootcamp. Web design front end bootcamp. I mean, this is a 12-week for front design bootcamp. The international domestic fees is 5,750. It is in New Zealand. It costs you around 4,200 US$. And then the start time is 2nd March, 28th May. And then the second bootcamp will be in June. The third bootcamp will be in September. I mean, you could just email them. You can ask for the information. They will send you what you will learn in 12 weeks. They will teach you HTML, CSS. There are tons of things to learn. I mean, in it. I mean, you need to really learn a lot of things. I mean, the bootcamp, let me show you. I just send an email to inquiry for you. They send me for a front end bootcamp, which will cost you around, I mean, I think 4,000. I will just say 4,300 US$ plus $2,500 for living. I mean, it will only cost around 6,800 US$. I will say just make your budget for 7,000 US$. I will just say, you can say it will teach you in the first week fundamental. I mean, you will learn HTML, HTML5, FTP, CSS. If you really do not know what the hell are you you really do not know what the hell I'm saying, I mean, so it means you're totally new to it. At the end of first week, you will have resume side. After you will complete the second week, you will learn SAS, all this document, object, module. I mean, you will have some kind of team collaboration project. After design, you will learn Photoshop, all these things. You will learn a lot of web design, front end web design, front end web engineering, and then in week 6, you will learn some PHP. You will learn WordPress, and then even you will learn SEO. I mean, I think 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. You will have around 11 to 12, I mean, projects on your portfolio after you completed this bootcamp. I mean, you could easily become a JavaScript or a front-end web developer easily. I mean, even they will teach you e-commerce. I mean, they will teach you a lot of stuff. I mean, if you go through this bootcamp, but if you want to learn some kind of programming, I mean, full programming language, you want to become a back-end engineer, go with a diploma web development. It combines everything which you will learn in web, front-end web engineering, and it will teach you the back-end engineering. Let me show you the course component. It will teach you the client-side development. All this you can read. Web communication, advanced client-side, learn how to HTML, that blah blah. Server-side development, learn relationship database using MySQL. Server-side using PHP. OOP, I mean, object-oriented programming is really important. Advanced studies, portfolio, create online portfolio that demonstrate your skill. I mean, just go with this diploma. It's last for 41 weeks. I mean, 41 weeks. I mean, let me times around 4 months. It will just last you around 10 months. I mean, less than 10 months. It will last you. I mean, now let me see how much it costs you. I mean, fees. The fees is 21,300 US dollar. I mean, let me NZ into USD. Do the conversion rate for you. 21,300 New Zealand dollar. So it will cost you around only, I mean, it will cost you around $16,103. I mean, for how much it will cost you? 2,500 is costing us US dollar for 3 months. I mean, let me times 10. So $8,333 it will cost for your living, housing, eating for 8-10 months plus 16,000. So if you go with this diploma, it will cost around 24,000 US dollar. You'll be thinking, Jimmy, I already find a bootcamp in my country which will last me 6 months. The same amount of money it will cost me. But remember this thing, after you get this diploma of web development, you can get your bachelor in web development and IT. This is a 8 month, this will teach you everything. It will teach you everything. I mean, if you can afford it, plus you can work, I mean, part-time, I mean, 20 hours per week in New Zealand if you really wanna earn some extra money. It's up to you. If you're totally newbie, you wanna learn everything about web development, web design, go with diploma of web development. Or otherwise, I mean, just go with the web design front end bootcamp. But I will say, do not go with the, what is called, General Assembly bootcamp. I hate them with passion. It's freaking, I really do not forget the name. Yeah, something like that. Do not go with the General Assembly. I mean, find some kind of another bootcamp. So now let's recap. I mean, bootcamp indeed are a really good thing if you can afford. I mean, they are the awesome thing. But I mean, try to find a bootcamp good value for money. Do not just go with a freaking expensive bootcamp and then you learn a language like Ruby on Rails that no one cares. I mean, yeah, we need Ruby on Rails developer, but we need more PHP developer. PHP is a web development language. Only Ruby you can even build some kind of desktop app. Even in Python you can build some desktop app. But in PHP, no, PHP is only focused. The PHP ranked #1 in web development, and then the #1 rank in JSP. Most of enterprise use JSP. I mean, to become a JSP developer, I will say you need some kind of degree to get passed through the HR department. But if you wanna become a genuine, you wanna start your own web development company, your own web design services company, if you wanna become a freelance web developer, if you wanna work in a small business as a web developer, if you wanna work in a small web development company, learn PHP, man, learn PHP. Just go with a front end engineering bootcamp and then learn PHP on your own. I will say, I mean, it's up to you. Bootcamp are really good, but you need to grind. I mean, no one will care for you if you can't understand. They need to get all the week done. I mean, for example, if I'm a bootcamp instructor, I'm teaching HTML, CSS. at the end of the week you can't complete the HTML CSS simple web project, I really do not care. I'm going to teach the week 2 to my student. You have to stay focused. You are going, the concept of bootcamp is that you open your eyes, programming, you eating, programming. When you go home, wherever you live, if you are, for example, renting an apartment, you are so tired of doing programming, but you have to do some kind of programming work. They will give you around 5 to 6 hour homework, which you need to do out of the bootcamp. The bootcamp is 9 to 5 most of the time. 45 hours per week. You will do programming more than 60 hours a day for continuous 12 weeks, 3 months, or 24 weeks, which you're talking about. Bootcamp are really good thing, but do some courses. Go to Coursera or Udacity website, get some get started with the free programming course. Just watch the Udacity introduction to HTML CSS. Buy some books. I already show you, even I include the link. Buy the HTML and CSS design a build website book. Just read build website. I will say build at least 2 or 3 websites, simple website, and then get some concept clear of the web programming like PHP. Or if you really do not know what the hell variable is, you're totally new, just learn this thing before attending a bootcamp. Yes, bootcamp is a good thing. My option is that go to New Zealand and then attend a web design front-end bootcamp. But if you're totally newbie, attend a diploma in web development, or otherwise just find out good quality bootcamp and then attend them at a good price. But remember one thing, ask them, you will have a portfolio? A lot of the time, a lot of the bootcamp only offer a portfolio. After you complete the bootcamp, you will have at least 10 to 12 websites under your belt, under your portfolio. Then you could easily get a job. But make this thing clear. I seen some bootcamp that does not guarantee a portfolio. If a bootcamp is guarantee you a job, run away from it. No bootcamp can guarantee a job. I will not say it's a scam, but I really do not like this shit. Most of the time the people go through bootcamp, still they can't find a job because they really do not want to work, or they hate the field, or they do not have the passion to become a web developer, which our employer is looking for. Just get a guarantee that you will have at least 10 minimum websites under your portfolio after you completed a bootcamp, and stay motivated. Like when you're going to join the military, you're going to apply for a basic cadet course. You make your body, you do everyday exercise, you eat around 10 eggs per day, you drink 1 liter milk per day, you eat ton of butter, you do some boxing before you're going to join the military, at least 6 months before, I think. You build your body, and then you go to the first military interview test, and then if they accept you, you go to the basic military course. Same concept is the bootcamp. Just stay motivated, learn HTML, CSS. The bootcamp is to make you master in a web development language. The bootcamp basic does not mean a basic introduction. They will teach you minimum basic introduction. So the best thing is just pick some book, start coding from now. Go to Code Academy, go to EDX, join the computer science hardware CX50 course for free. Just get started. For example, keep a time. After next you are going to join a bootcamp in June. So from March to June, for next 3 months you are going to learn HTML, CSS. You are going to clear the concept of programming, and then you are going to go to bootcamp. It will be very easy to digest the information. Most of the time they are throwing so much information at you. MVC, OOP, PHP, what is the difference between PHP 5.6, MQ, MySQL database, Oracle database, Microsoft database? You really become confused. Just clear the concept before attending a bootcamp. Just give yourself 3 month time period before you're going to attend the bootcamp. Just do yourself, learn, passionate about it. When you are free, just do browsing the HTML, CSS syntax. Even you can watch my HTML, CSS course on it, how to learn HTML, CSS. I'm using the HTML, CSS book to build that course. I'm using this book for that course. So subscribe to my channel. I hope that this answered the question you had asked me. If you have any question, just email me or leave in the comment box below. It's me, Geek. Bye bye.